Well, hello and good day to all of you wonderful viewers. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And here we are, the first movie of 2023 is M3GAN. That's just one of the first movies, I can't believe it. And you would think that it would be a movie that would not be dropped in the month of January, because usually in January when you throw in a horror movie, it's most likely garbage. But unfortunately, not this time. 2023 is going to be the year when things are just a little bit different compared to all the others that we have experienced. So here we are, January 2023, the movie, the first movie of this year, M3GAN. Well, if you would want to put a pronunciation to it, M3GAN. You know, it's not a third movie or anything like that. It's just part of the computer code that's put into this AI gone bad doll. And we all know that this story has been told before, which was the 2019 rebooted version of Child's Play. And that movie was, it was okay. You know, I find that technology is advancing itself a little too extreme, a little more than what we are just not ready for. And this movie does the same thing, but it has more meaning to it compared to what Child's Play 2019 had done. Did I find that Child's Play 2019 was a lot more entertaining than this film? In some different levels, yes, and in some different levels, no. I will admit that there were some laughs in this, but none to which that really caught me to, you know, having a few chuckles and laughs here and there, unlike what Child's Play had did. But if I were to say that this is a so-called horror movie, or what they'd say a horror comedy, because there are some comedic elements in the film that would really get you entertained as much as horrified in this movie. But this movie, M3GAN, it's just something different. It is directed by Gerard Johnstone, who directed the movie Household, which I have not seen, but I've heard many good things about it, so I got to add it to the list and check that out. If it's what I hear that it's really good movie, I got to go and check it out. The main character is called Gemma, which is played by Allison Williams, and we all remember her from Jordan Peele's first movie, Get Out. But the way that I recognized her, the way that her character would have played off in this movie, the way the character was, it kind of gave me a little remembrances of like Jennifer Connelly back in the early 2000s, or Lake Bell. You know, it had some similarities that I could honestly say that if this character would have been casted, it would have been one or the other, Jennifer Connelly or Lake Bell. So, and this character plays an aunt who's taking in her orphaned niece, which her parents were killed in a tragic accident at the beginning of the film. And she is really hooked onto her work as a robotics toy engineer. And with her having to taking in her niece as a full-time parent now, she's not fully equipped into having to being the motherly figure to her orphaned niece, which brings her to the idea of creating this parental replacement, M3GAN, which is this, you know, this doll that is, you know, like what we said, is an AI doll that can do everything and that can really comfort her niece in the time of her parents' passing. Which I think that is a good keynote to this movie, giving it the very moral as to what the what the exact reasons are into developing this story. Now, this movie, it really does have a lot of character and story build up in the first film, in the beginning of the film. Within its first 15 to 30 minutes, I just think that there's just too much to build up on, because the movie is called M3GAN, but yet we don't really see any actions of this doll under performances just yet. It's kind of like with the movie of Peter Jackson's King Kong back in 2005. The movie is called King Kong, but yet unfortunately we don't see the character until an hour and 15 minutes after the beginning of the film. So this is what it feels like the same way too. It's like you came here to see a horror film about a AI out of control killing doll, and yet nothing of that has happened. Now, I understand when it comes to the story buildup, you know, you got to throw in some business issues in there. You got to build in, you know, how the story will develop itself, how the characters will develop themselves, putting in some key notes in there, hidden agendas that what the story will lead itself towards later on in the film. Just so many of those things, keynotes, things like that. And it really, in a way, I can't say I was bored, but I can understand, as a movie fanatic, I can understand what they were trying to do. But I just feel like it was just a little bit too long. In a way, I felt more like, okay, get to the point here. Get to the very reason why we're here. The star of this movie is a robotic killing doll. We want to see that. And so they don't bring it in until like 15 to 30 minutes of the film, which is way down the road there. I mean, honestly, I don't really... It's not that I don't care about any of these characters. I understand that these characters need to be a part of the story in order to introduce the main character of the film. Then the niece character, Katie, is played by Violet McGraw. And she's the orphaned niece that is going through this tragic situation, position, and with her aunt bringing in this doll, she's more of the, this doll is the prototype, and she is very much the very seed of, you know, trying to getting this new project of the next big toy that this company is in need of, or what they would specify as the last big toy. The only toy that they will ever want, ever, and never have another again. Because, you know, of course, when it comes to toy leaks out there, one company would have an idea, and then another one would have this very same idea, but the little differences in order to keep itself separate from what the other companies had within their ideas. So that's what the story is doing. There is a lot of there's a lot of hidden things that pop up in the film that really introduce more of an open door to certain sequels. If this movie is to be successful, and from what I hear, a lot of great things about this movie, and me myself personally, I think that it is a good film. Not the best, but as a starter for this year of 2023, I'd have to say we are at a good start. We are at a very, very good start, especially in the month of January. January, not really, there's not many good movies that come out in January. Last year when we had Scream 5, that was actually a huge surprise. I didn't believe that, I couldn't believe that they put that in that month. It felt more of how it's going to be this year in March. It felt more like a March movie. But January for sure, I could see that they're starting to change things up a bit. They're starting to encourage us to go to the theaters around this time of year. Because usually, even though that they dump a lot of garbage films out in this month, they're trying to change it up to bringing us back to the theaters and having to have that sense of hope, knowing that any movie is possible to come out in any time of the year. And once when this character, M3GAN, is introduced, the physicality of the character that is developed in the film is played by Amy Donald. And one of the great things I loved about this M3GAN character is the way that she dances. I loved it with having to seeing it in the trailer, and I was looking forward to seeing it happen in the film. You know, as soon as we saw the red halls going on, right away I already told myself, ooh, this is the part. This is the part. I cannot wait for it to happen. This is the part. I actually admired the dancing moves that the doll was doing in the trailer, and I wanted to see it here. But once it happened, instead of getting to seeing the entire dance technique that that the doll was performing before she, you know, comes to the kill, you know, you have to see some of the victim's facial expressions as to what he's experiencing, what he's visualizing, and it cuts off from the dance to his facial expressions, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. I like the dancing moves that she does in the film, and I wanted to see that. And when I saw it cut off, I'm like, no, that was like the best part of the trailer, and you just cut the majority of it out just to see the victim's facial expressions going off, and I wasn't for that. You know, that was really a big bummer for me. It was still fun to watch, but it was a bummer. Which the victim's character, David, is played by Ronnie Chang. And honestly, I thought this was the character, that this was the actor that was playing Shang-Chi last year or the year before, either way. But yeah, I thought that was him, but no, it wasn't him. They have a lot of facial similarities. Not that I'm being any at a racial point here, but no, it's just I just saw it. And I'm like thinking, is that Shang-Chi? I'm like, no, that's not Shang-Chi. And it's great knowing that the voice of the M3GAN character, played by Jenna Davis, you know, it's not iconic. It's not iconic. It's not like the Chucky voice iconic, but it was horrific in some ways, and I love how she adapts her voice into being a AI doll to a killer character. So it was great getting to seeing that. You know, when it comes to the movie, all in general, it felt very, like I mentioned before, like the AI Chucky 2019 film mixed in with the first Terminator film. Some of the horror graphics that were in that first Terminator movie back in 1984. So it gave me some rememberabilia to that. And it's great how they mention about collective toys, because this aunt, even though that she's not fully equipped with being a parent, she does have toys, but they are not to play with. They are collectors. And I saw this movie with my wife, and as soon as that scene had come up and she mentioned it to her niece, right away my wife just looked at me because I have toys, as you can obviously tell, and I have a daughter on the way coming up in March, and one of the questions has popped to me by her is, when your daughter is born and she wants to play with these toys, are you going to let her? Absolutely. She's my daughter. If she wants to play with all the toys, she can. They may be collectors, but I love my daughter even more. So if she wants to play with the toys, she can play with the toys. But with this aunt, the way that she did with the character, I could feel the pain that she went through when she was obligated to open one of the boxes. She was slowly ripping it open and then taking out the toy, and then the niece is playing with the ball, like just rolling it on the ground, and she's just like, that's not why it was made. It was not made to roll on the ground. It was made to do something else. She didn't fully explain herself, but it was meant for an entirely different purpose. And the way I was kind of laughing, because I'm like, I can relate to that, because I do have some toys, collective toys here, that if they were played in a certain manner, that was not the purpose of its existence, it would really, iffy me. So I don't know. But it was really funny. The movie's PG-13. It's not rated R. It was supposed to be rated R from the very beginning, but it didn't happen because they wanted to get more people having to watching this movie. And yeah, parents did take their children to go watching this. Even though it had some graphics to seem as if it was going to be a rated R movie, but it was edited down into being a PG-13. So say if there were to be a sequel to this, if it were to develop itself to being a franchise, I would highly suggest it if you'd go ahead and rate this movie, the sequel films, as a rated R, because I think that it would really pick up the numbers and audiences wanting to watching more of this, because I do think that they have something here. They really do have something. It's just a matter of trying to put the bits and pieces together and delivering what the audiences are wanting to entertain themselves with next. So it was great. I love that there's a character called LC, which is like the Alexa version of this film, which is what I think that is the origination of the M3GAN character. It's kind of like what they would refer to as the internet transfer. But I don't think it was M3GAN transferring her consciousness into the LC character, but it was actually the LC character herself portraying through the M3GAN doll. That's my assumption. It's not an accurate truth. It is an assumption, and I think that would be really great for them to use if it were to be a huge reveal in future sequels. That the LC Alexa character, the little computer camera thing, whatever it is the M3GAN character, because you get a little, little Easter eggs specifying that, that it's the M3GAN doll that's controlling the little LC character, but really I think it's the LC character who is the AI version of the M3GAN doll. So that's my assumption. So it would be great if they were to do sequels and have some reveals to some of the questions that are asked in this film. Can't believe Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94%. 94. Wow. When I was just writing down my notes and I had to look up how much the ratings were on Rotten Tomatoes, 94. I could not believe that rating, especially at the beginning of the year. Holy cow. Now, I liked the movie. And, of course, not every movie is perfect. They're going to have their flaws. They're going to have some issues. But I did like the film. I did like it. I did like it. I wanted to be horrified a little bit more. I wanted to be scared. I wanted to be terrified. But that didn't happen. But yet more, I was more entertained. It may have felt a little boring within the first 15 to 30 minutes of the movie. But I was still entertained. It was almost detached by the film of not being interested any further because of those first 15 to 30 minutes, because they had to do a lot of character and story developments. But from the way I look at all this, I find that the movie M3GAN is actually a 70%. I give it a 70%. It's not bad. It's not good. It's okay. A little ups of okay, but it's really good. And I really do highly recommend for anyone who's out there has not seen this movie just yet, go ahead and watch it. I do think that you'll have a very fun time watching this. Rather, like I said, it's not even scary at all. It's just like a really great fun time. If you watch the trailer, the trailer may look horrific, but when you watch the movie, the majority of whatever you saw in the trailer will pop up in the film, and you'll be like, oh, okay. So it's still a fun, entertaining time. Would I go and watch it again in theaters? Probably not. But if I could or would have, possibly so. But yes, 70% I go ahead and give M3GAN 2023. So anyways, you guys. Oh, and also, since my daughter, she's on the way. It's fun having to say my daughter. My wife, who's 8 months right now, pregnant with my daughter. My wife, she tells me that our daughter was moving throughout the entire movie. I mean, she was just having a blast, having a great time. Just, me being overly joyed and excited, saying, that's my girl, that's my little baby. She's going to be a movie fanatic just like her dad. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. When she's born, I probably might be doing a little, some videos with her, so that way when she's a little baby and then she grows up, toddler, a little girl, a teenager, a grown-up woman, having to doing this for many years to come. It's great getting to know that, her being a movie fanatic, she's just going to be sitting here by my side and talking amongst ourselves about movies. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that happening. So anyways, you guys, that's my review for M3GAN, everybody. What did you guys think? Have you checked it out? Go ahead and go to your local theater and check it out, everybody. It is a great theatrical experience. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section at the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you'd like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on Facebook and on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button there, everybody. I really do appreciate everybody's support on my channel. I got a few more projects on the way. I know that there were so many at the ending of the year that I did not get to do. I wanted to do Avatar: The Way of Water. I wanted to do Black Adam. I wanted to do Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, but that didn't happen. Life is just so busy, so much to do in so little time, and having to talking about movies is one of my priorities. It's one of my most personal hobbies. And it's just a great experience, everybody. So anyways, you guys, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys once more again, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.